Good evening and welcome to the video version of the Jack Flaherty experience. Yesterday on birdsontheblack.com, I published a post titled The Bright Future of Jack Flaherty. To date, it has been my most well-received post at the site. It was my 10th post at the site. We launched back on Black Friday, and it's had the most views and had by far the most shares on social media, and for that I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I also want to highlight that I believe it was Cardinals Gift's best work yet. We've been working together for a little over a year, maybe a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. And while I believe all of his work has been quality, particularly with the pitch trails that we've been focusing on in many of my pitch analysis articles, I still believe that this is his best work. And yes, from now on I am going to do a soft G and call them GIFs instead of GIFs, even though I believe that some people will disagree with that. Cardinals Gifts prefers it, so that's what I'm going to go with. And while I pointed out that it was Cardinals Gift's best work, I think the biggest reason behind that is Jack Flaherty and the consistency throughout all of his release points on all of his pitches. His repertoire is pretty deep. In fact, I believe it is the deepest repertoire among Cardinals pitchers, not named Carlos Martinez and not named Alex Reyes. I think that's pretty high praise for a young pitcher, especially a pitcher who just turned 22 years old, and because a lot of people develop pitches over time as they regress in certain areas, whereas he already has all of those pitches, and I think that that is very high praise for him. He throws a four-seamer, a sinker, a changeup, a slider, and a curveball, and the average vertical release points and horizontal release points, for that matter, differ by, no more than an inch or two either way. And I've pointed out the most important release point data is associated with his four-seamer and his slider, two pitches that he throws rather frequently. Horizontally and vertically, the average release points differ by only 0.6 of an inch. So from a pitch tunneling and a pitch sequencing standpoint, Jack Flaherty is incredibly exciting to me. He projects very well, and some of the sequences that I used in the article that will be shown on the screen as I discuss them is a strikeout of Scott Schebler. He started Schebler off with a changeup down and away, followed it up with basically a devastating back foot slider down and in, and then blew him away with a fastball up in the zone, up above the zone actually. And I think that something that I really want to point out here is a lot of people are worried about his fastball, worried that because it's not an Alex Reyes fastball, it's not a Carlos Martinez fastball, but when he's able to have such a consistent release point to the point where hitters aren't able to pick up which pitch is coming to the plate, I think that fastball is going to play up a little bit. And I think that's exactly what we see here, and I think that's exactly what we see later in the sequences that I had gift against Anthony Rizzo. He started him off with a back foot curveball this time, busted him in a little bit with a little bit faster slider, and then absolutely sawed him off with a fastball up and in. It was 95.3 miles an hour. Anthony Rizzo mashes fastballs. He hits very, very well against right-handed pitchers, hits very well against right-handed fastballs, four-seamers, and yet Flaherty was able to get in on his hands and induce a 46.2 mile an hour ground out to shortstop. So basically what I'm trying to say is some of the worry that I've seen across Twitter, and this goes into some of the questions that I was asked about who I like more between Luke Weaver and Jack Flaherty. I think a lot of people are excited about Luke Weaver's ability because of how well he's able to place his fastball. Some of the giddy up he has on his fastball, he's able to get it up to 96, 97 miles an hour at times. You didn't see that in Flaherty's small sample size last year, but I think what we're underappreciating with Flaherty is the fact that he has better breaking balls than Weaver, and his breaking balls tunnel well with his fastball. So while his fastball may average down at 93 to 94 miles an hour, whereas Weaver's is more 94, 95, touching 96, I think his ability to sequence the two and tunnel the two put him ahead of Luke Weaver. So basically, that was a question asked by Zach Gifford. Corey Sansone on Twitter also talked on it, of who I judged as a better pitching prospect, who I'm more excited about going forward. It's without a doubt Jack Flaherty. Sure, Jack Flaherty had weak numbers last year. Luke Weaver also had weak numbers in his debut season. Jack Flaherty just turned 22 years of age. He was pitching at 21 last season. That's pretty incredible. So why do I think that? I think that he's got two legitimate swing and miss pitches in his slider and his curveball. They're going to average swing and miss rates of 45% or higher throughout his career, I believe. And I think that while his changeup isn't quite where I would like it to be, pitchers can pick up changeups a little bit easier than picking up breaking balls. We're talking about Luke Weaver still trying to come up with that third pitch. He's got that fastball, he's got that changeup, but finding that third pitch, that breaking ball, has been a challenge for him. Flaherty already has that breaking ball. He actually has two breaking balls. So that's why I think I would rank Flaherty ahead of Weaver, despite the success we've seen at the big league level from Weaver. And it's largely because he already has pitches that Weaver is still trying to find. Another question that was posed was, who do I think was the most effective starter long term between Reyes, Weaver, and Flaherty? I still, even with Reyes's injury, I still have to go with him because his stuff is just incredible. Yes, basically the best precursor for future injury is past injury, so he might get injured again, you never know. But that stuff is just absolutely incredible. Second, I'd go with Flaherty, as I just discussed. And third, I'd go with Weaver. But it's hard to get upset about any of them. Cardinals Gifts asked me a question. If I had $100 to get a jersey from a pitching prospect, who would I invest that money towards, assuming no trades? Considering I already have Alex Reyes's Futures Games hat, I'm beating the system here, Cardinals Gifts. Sorry. I'm going to have to go with Flaherty. I'd love a Reyes jersey, but I'm going to go with Flaherty just to be a little bit different. But basically, those were some of the questions that were asked. If you have any more, please include them on the video. This was very spur of the moment. And as you can see, I am ready for the holiday season. I hope you are too. Thank you for everything that you've done in my 10 posts on Birds on the Black, including the fellow writers at the site and creators. We really appreciate the support we've received, and we look forward to bringing more to you in the days and weeks and months to come. Hopefully the Cardinals make a couple moves. Hopefully they can acquire a pitcher like Chris Archer. We'd probably lose Jack Flaherty in that case, but that's something to talk about when that time comes, if it comes. So go Cardinals, and feel free to comment below and share this on social media so that more people can see what I've been up to this offseason. Thanks.